Welcome to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And we love talking about NEXT Memphis, which is an initiative of Porter-Leath. We're joined by the director of NEXT Memphis, Alicia Norman. How are you doing?
I am fine, Jeremy. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share with all of these folks the good work that is going on with NEXT Memphis.
Absolutely. There is a lot of good to talk about indeed, including this new position for you. And so congratulations. Let's start with a little bit of just getting to know you and your backstory. So give us a little bit of your backstory, especially tied to early education.
So I started, it was a long time ago, Jeremy. I'm going to date myself, but I started back with Church Health Center. Well, actually, prior to that, I was with the district for a stint, and then I went to Church Health Center as a teacher, then parent liaison, then the principal for 14 years of Perea Preschool and Perea Elementary, which at that time was under the umbrella of Church Health Center. And that's where my passion was fueled to continue the work in the area of high quality education. Jeremy, back then, and really for most models, the majority of the children that we serve in the sites that we serve, you're going to have anywhere from 70 to 80% that are living below or at the poverty line. You're going to have about 70% of those who are from one parent homes. And so that in and of itself create many obstacles and barriers to just access to high quality education. And I've always been very passionate about the holistic offering for education, because it's easy to say that children are growing up in poverty, they're growing up in single family homes. Sometimes we forget about all of the gaps that create for those children. So we really have to fill that gap. It's more than just an academic gap, because there are other gaps that leans to the academic gap. So it is my mission to really make sure that all children have access to high quality education, and also to make sure that it is not just education, but it includes their family, and it also includes an approach to social wellness. I think that a lot of what we see in our schools is around behavior and challenging behavior and the toxic trauma and stress that children and families kind of deal with on a daily basis. So it has to be inclusive of all of those things. And actually, NEXT Memphis gives me the opportunity to continue to do that in a larger way. We work with 36 centers. So originally, my experience has been working with a center, with a school, but now I get to work with 36 childcare centers and family childcare centers within the city of Memphis. And we offer them a shared services model. And shared services is a fancy name for back office support, but we have a shared service or back office support on steroids. I like to say shared services on steroids, because not only do we offer the traditional business support, to make sure that they are having a viable business through accounting, through finance, through HR, through payroll. We support those 36 centers. We also have the education, where we are helping them to achieve high quality education. And we throw that word around a lot, but high quality education is inclusive of many factors. It's because it's not just the teacher, right? We want teachers to be prepared and ready to teach. That's a component all within itself. But then we have to assess children. We have to assess teachers. We have to push in support based on the data that we receive from the assessments, so that we can know how to reach the children. And then we also have to look at their needs outside of academics. And Jeremy, I'm probably saying way more than you just asked me, but so stop me at any time. But the final pillar of our model is the comprehensive family support. So our theory of change is if we push in and support for viable business, if we push in and support for the high quality education, if we push in and give support and comprehensive family support, then that creates a more holistic approach to teaching our young babies, our young children, our young students.
Well, and obviously you can hear and see the passion that comes through right on your end. And so I love the fact, because I was going to ask you, why Next Memphis, but you already answered all that. So you make it very easy. But I think the next question for you is, what are some of the things that really make you special when you talk about Next Memphis as an organization? One of the things that I really appreciate is the attention to detail, in the sense that when you talk about training the trainers, so to speak, working with the educators, a preschool can't close down. And so you send your team to make sure that the children have a teacher there during the day while you're training the teacher, at your site. So it's all the little things that you pay attention to that I think make it really successful and different. What are some of those things from your vantage point that make Next Memphis very different?
So again, I'm going to go back to that model, because there are many schools that are open, and we're very thankful for every school, for every educator, for every principal. But what makes Next Memphis special is that we are ensuring high quality, and we are ensuring holistic support. And those two go hand in hand. Next Memphis is part of a Porter-Leath initiative, but we have several partners in the city that we work with: First State Memphis, Early Success Coalition, Books from Birth. There is hardly a need that a student can have or a parent can have that we cannot address, support, or give resources for that need. Under our family liaison umbrella of service, we have care coordinators. Those care coordinators are able to support parents who may be falling on hard times, who may be in crisis. We just took a mom from homeless to housing in 84 days. So we really push in, and we address the gaps, all of the deficits that our children can face, because those deficits actually impact them in the classroom. And then when you talk about the trauma that children face, and we talk, we had this big push around ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, and we now have a better lens. We look through a trauma lens to really kind of understand what's going on with this child, because children need more than ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, right? That's not just what they need, because there are so many gaps and deficits. So Next Memphis, we're partnering with child care centers in the city of Memphis, family day homes in the city of Memphis, who oftentimes lack the resources to gain the high quality, because these are our children too. All of the children belong to all of Memphis. Early childhood education creates that foundation. We're building a house, but those early years, those foundational years, that's the foundation that many educators K through 12 will build. They will, lay the framework, they'll build the walls, they'll, put the roof. But what we're doing at Next Memphis, our span is 0 to 5. And it continues with 0 to 8 with First State Memphis. But we are focusing in on the time span where research shows, or we now know that 80% of the brain develops from birth to about age 6 or 7. The remaining 20% develops from 8 or 9 until the age of 20, 25, I think they said for men. Don't figure. But so we have to capture this moment, right? Because we have this very fertile ground. Because if we miss that opportunity, it's just that. It's a very missed opportunity. And I think they say ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. But in this sense, a pound of intervention. Because on the back end, if we don't invest now in early childhood, we pay a high cost at the end when you're looking at 10, 15, 20 years down the road. There is a research through the Washington Center for Equitable Growth. There's a preschool project research, and they both agree for every dollar that we spend on early childhood investing, we get like anywhere from a $4 to a $9 return on that investment. And Jeremy, I think that as a community, as a society, as a nation, we're going to pay now or we're going to pay later. And so for me, Next Memphis is special because we are addressing the needs of a lot of our population of children who are living in poverty, and maybe some not, but the majority of them are. So we know that the clock is ticking, and we have this time frame that we really need to push in and not just support the child, but support the family. And then your reach is even further. I love the fact that Next Memphis, we walk hand in hand with families, those parents. What do you need? We will provide educational support for them. We will provide mental wellness support, physical, financial. If they are, lacking in some area because they're in crisis, we do an assessment. We create a family partnership agreement. We help them set a goal. We walk with them to meet the goal, and then we do a family outcome assessment so that we'll know it's working, it's not working, what else can we do? And I don't know if that's happening, within a lot of organizations, the way we push in and walk with their child and their family.
As director, what are some of your goals and visions looking forward?
Looking forward, this is year 3. Okay. And I truly believe that you can make or break a company in 3 to 5 years. You got about that time span. And so year 3 is critical for us. We're looking at the past 2 years of data. We are looking where we need to make any adjustments so that we can be more effective and more efficient. And so we are currently in that work right now, and we are looking at data and coming up with some really, really grand ideas as to how we really want to support. It would be my goal that the 36 centers that we are working with now, they are able to sustain the support that we're pushing in now, that within 3 years, they're able to stand on their own 2 feet. And we can bring in a new cohort and say, let's keep this going. The more directors, owners, and operators that we support and get them on their feet and sustaining what we pushed in, and we are able to impact even more, because there are a lot of children who are cared for by childcare centers. There are a lot of children who are with our district, with Porter-Leath, there are different organizations, but there are a lot of who are cared for by private owners of childcare centers. And that's our focus, because we cannot leave that work behind, because school-based sites, they're going to get some support. They're already, aligned for support, but these folks rarely get support. And I'm just having a wonderful time meeting them and getting to know them, their strengths, their needs. What are your goals? I often tell them that our goal is to help you meet your goal. That's my goal, is to help you meet your goal. And so going forward, I think it would be to really push in and give them the support that they need right now, so that in 3 years they could sustain this on their own.
How can we help your efforts?
The community can help our efforts by, first of all, we always need donations. We always need volunteers. But just to get the word out about Next Memphis, there is something that I think that our community can do. Help us spread the word that early childhood education, we used to say, and I used to tell everybody, it's no longer an option. It is mandatory. It's not an option. It is now. Get the word out to people that who may say, well, I'm gonna let my child stay home with grandma and grandpa until they go to kindergarten, but they miss so much. Not saying that we're not able to do what we need to do at home, but the requirements for kindergarten changed. They shifted about 10, 15 years ago without everybody knowing. And so if their first introduction is in kindergarten, they're starting the beginning off behind, which is indicative of that 3rd grade reading level, which is indicative of really their future. There's some research out there that talks about we can really kind of predict a child's future based on that 3rd grade reading level, because from ages 0 to 3, they learn how to read, right? But at grade 3, you read to learn. And if they can't read, their learning is going to be impacted. So let's spread the word about the importance of early childhood education. And then if you know of a center that needs our support, they can find us at www.nextmemphis.org or either at www.porterleath.org. But always, we love volunteers. We love donations. We have some Porter-Leath events that will be coming up throughout the year to attend those, because supporting Porter-Leath is supporting NEXT Memphis. And then supporting Porter-Leath and NEXT Memphis, you're supporting our young children in our community.
You never can say it enough. So go ahead and mention again the website and where we can go, actually websites, to learn more about NEXT Memphis and Porter-Leath.
All right. Our website is www.nextmemphis.org or www.porterleath.org. And if they just want to go to one and look at everything, they can actually go to the Porter-Leath website, and that will get them all of the information that they need.
Well, Alicia, congratulations. Excited for the future ahead. Thank you for all you and your amazing team do. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.